Hey everyone, this is Athletes and Antiquities, and today we have a great topic that I'm very excited about. Today we are doing a crash course, a showcase, and just an overall deep dive on the entire EX era as a whole. So this video doesn't have a very strict script or have any specific talking points. This was a video that was suggested by a viewer named Jeffrey. He just wanted to do go a little bit deeper on EX, kind of branching off of my EX is going to the moon video. But I thought it was a great topic, so I'm taking his advice. So as always, if you do have a video suggestion, please let me know and I'll try and work it in. But so today is about all things EX era. And so I'm going to show off all the different kind of types of EX era. I'm going to show you a lot of the cards that I have. And I'm just going to talk about my favorites. You know, you might see some cards in here that you didn't know about before, or it might spark some interest in you, or just if you just want to sit back and watch. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to go through this. I think I'm just going to start with the different types of rarities, kind of show everything off a little bit, and just, yeah, go from there. So my first stack of cards here is Holos, just like the regular traditional Holos from EX. So I have this long kind of goal of mine to get every single EX era Holo in a PSA 8 or higher. And so I'm kind of just picking up cheap ones as I find them. You can find these beautiful EX era Holos, like come on, look at that holofoil. The holofoils from this era just pop. Something that modern Holos I think are kind of lacking is just this Cosmo Holo is spectacular. And you're gonna see it through all these cards, but EX era Holos, Diamond and Pearl era Holos, they just hit different in my mind. I'm biased because this is what I collected, but they're just so beautiful. This is a Beautifly, not a very expensive card, but I just want them all on PSA 8 because I want a generally nice copy of every card. And when getting raw things online, it's very easy to miss a dent or something. So I picked 8 because it's a good cheap option. 9 and 10 get very expensive very quickly. And once you get to 7, there's a little bit more visual damage. So I wanted a card that looks beautiful from the front. If you pick these apart in the back, you can see there's some whitening in the corners, but like that, I don't care about that. I just want the visual presentation. Like I had one from EX Ruby and Sapphire up there, and then we got Dragon with this Altaria. Just again, beautiful art. That like, what is that, like a watercolor Altaria with the Cosmo Holo in the background. Like these cards, you can get PSA 8s. I got this one for a little under 30 bucks. They're just a steal in my mind. They're just spectacular. Milotic from Hidden Legends. I'm gonna start off a bit slow with all these categories, and I'll start kind of running through them more quickly. But so these are just my PSA 8 stack. It's still very small. I only have maybe like 20 or so PSA 8s. I actually have no idea. It's probably less than 20, but this one, not as great. You can see there's less holofoil. You don't see the Cosmo as much. It doesn't really pop. This one was by far my cheapest one. I got this one for like 12 bucks in an auction because no one bid against me. And, you know, it's not one of the more desirable ones, so that's probably why. But like, come on, look at this. Fire Red Leaf Green had some bangers, and Pidgeot does not disappoint. At the time, you know, no one cared about these Pidgeots, no one cared about these non-Charizard, non-Chase card Holos, but even the normal cards, like the Pidgeot, not a very spectacular or glamorous Pokemon itself, but it just looks beautiful. You can almost see my face because it's so reflective on this holofoil. And it's a PSA 8, but it's got I'm very choosy with my PSA 8s, so I pick PSA 8s with spectacular fronts and all the damage is on the back. Like, that's why it's a PSA 8. And that right there, stuff like that. I'm not picking PSA 8s that are spectacular on the back with a scratch on the front. I'm picking ones where the holofoil just jumps out at you. Because that's where a lot of this value is. Going into EX Deoxys, come on. Like this Altaria, just beautiful. These are great cards. So, Holos are the cheapest, like, rarity level in this series, but they're some of the best. Like, a lot of these regular Holo cards have better art than the EXs, and dare I say the Gold Stars too. So I'm just going through a few of these. EX Holland Phantoms, they kind of did away with the Cosmo Holo, which I thought was a little interesting. And on most of the other sets, The holofoil is in the background, and the Pokemon is just like a regular painting or whatever it may be. But with Holo Phantoms, they went with these gold border designs for the holo rares and the reverse holo rares. But now the Pokemon itself is holo. So you can see the Deoxys itself is holo and the background is actually not. And that kind of strayed away from their usual with this, excuse me. But the gold border is beautiful, so I love that. But I just kind of wish they kept the gold border but had the Cosmo holo. That'd be the perfect combination. Got a big one coming up. Ignore the grade. I just wanted a Charizard. This one had great eye appeal. I actually bought this in Mount 20. You're gonna hate to hear this. I bought this in 2012 when I was still in middle school for, I think it was $10. This Charizard, and you know, it was played. I did something terrible to that corner, and it came back a 5. But you know, it was a childhood card, and the 8s are so expensive. With these big cards, I kind of broke my rule. I could have gotten any of the Charizard, but I'd rather get a 5 or keep my childhood 5, and then use that money I saved to go buy a few others. So those are my PSA 8s. I don't have a whole lot yet. I'm still building up that collection, but I have a whole ton of regular holos that are not graded, but these ones are not in good condition. So I'm gonna run through these quick. Charizard, you saw that before. I'm not gonna stop unless there's something special. Beautiful Blastoise, but there's a atrocious corner there. Like these ones, I just keep them because I like them and they're nice cards, but they're nowhere near grading capacity. These are cards that I had as a child, that I had in binders, that I had in my back pocket. Here's a beautiful example of this checks all the boxes. It's a holo rare reverse Delta species. So this is past, what was it, Holo Phantoms, when they stopped doing the Cosmo holo? Yeah. So this is past Holo Phantoms. They do the same thing where the Pokemon itself is holo. They got that gold border, but with the reverse holos, now the text is gold. So you can see with this Deoxys, I know I just said I was gonna run through them and now I'm stopping again. Deoxys here, gold holo, black text on the name and the HP. But with the reverse holos, and this was just the reverse holos for all these sets, kept the gold border, but now the Pokemon's name is gold, the HP is gold, and now they have the set name in the bottom corner, which I just think it's just looks great. So even though I'm not a big fan of the Pokemon itself being illuminated as opposed to the background, I love the gold borders, I love the gold text. Again, a PSA probably 4 condition Espeon, but hey, it just makes a great card to look at. This is actually a good comparison. I forgot I had these two. This is a side-by-side of holo versus reverse holo. You can see gold text difference on the reverse and the EX Delta species name. So one thing that's interesting is there was actually a Reddit post about this that I thought was really cool. Well, not really cool, but it kind of made me think, where someone was complaining. They were saying, why are modern reverse holos, this is another beat up but a beautiful Umbreon, why are modern reverse holos so cheap? No, why does nobody want them? And it's because we got pampered with beautiful reverse holos from this series, and now when we go back to just some random like the energy symbol pattern on the regular part, and just like it's like a boring sheen holo, it just doesn't do it. It doesn't compare to these beautiful EX era reverses like this one, this Milotic Delta species. Again, you can see you can see it from a mile away. This is not a mint copy, but it's just a great card. So yeah, I'm running through all these. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. We got some holos here. Latios. See the set name on the reverse Latios, regular Latios. Love these Delta species cards. Got Pinsir coming out of like a cave or something. I picked up a lot of these when they were really cheap. I've been involved in Pokemon. I've been a fan of the cards since I was a kid. Like, come on, look at this holo in the spin. All the colorless ones have just, I feel like it just pops more. I got in the late EX era, early Diamond and Pearl era as a kid, and I never really left. So I had the benefit of picking up a lot of these cards really cheap. Like if this collection today, if you tried to buy it today, it'd be worth a lot more than I paid for them. Like when I first started getting, like when I got my first job at 16, I was buying a lot of these holos with my lifeguard money. For this one was probably 50 cents. I was getting Holos for $1, reverse holos for $1, maybe up to $5 if it was a really good card. Like, come on, look at that electrode holo. That's just, they don't make them today like this. That's what I'll say. They have alt arts and stuff which are beautiful, but like for regular holos are a snooze fest now. It's all about the V's, the V Max, the alt arts, which are beautiful, but there's something special about just a standard holo that just jumps out at you, and I kind of wish they didn't lose that. Here's one of the less glamorous ones. You can see it's like barely holo. But yeah, I'm just gonna run through these. I'm speeding up because I'm already at 10 minutes and I've showed you like half of one stack. I'm going a bit slower than I thought. Love that Magmar art. Mightyena. See this one, hold on. Oh, okay, so here's actually a really good talking point. I know I keep on saying I'm gonna speed up and then I stop. So there is a difference here. You see how this Mightyena has a yellow border? This Salamence had a gold border. They're both reverses. Why is this one a yellow border? This is another distinction I forgot. There's a lot of levels here. Only the ones that were holo rares have the gold edge. So a regular reverse holo, which we'll show you in soon, just has the EX Delta Species logo, or whatever set it is, just the EX Delta Species logo, and the words up here are black. So that's for commons and uncommons. You get the EX Delta Species logo, and then just everything else is normal. But with rares, they give you gold text. So now you get EX Delta Species and gold text. But with holo rares that are reverse, now they give you the gold border. So there's multiple tiers here. Like that's how they distinguish holo rare reverses versus rare reverses, which I really like, because I don't think they really do that nowadays. I can't think of anything that has that kind of distinction. I think all reverses kind of look the same. You can't really tell if it's a common or a rare just based on the colors and stuff. Like this one looks like I just folded that whole corner in half, but you know, I was young and I was fumbling these through binders as a kid. A lot of these, this one, like the nicer ones you can tell, like sure, it's still banged up, but it's like a much cleaner copy on the front. These ones I bought like from Troll and Toad and stuff for like $1 a piece. The ones that are like folded in half, they were childhood cards that I just accumulated because I opened a lot of EX, because even after Diamond and Pearl came out when I was a kid, I just loved EX, so I kind of kept with it. Now we're kind of getting through here, start getting into more of the dark stuff, like this, like these ones. It's a Delta Species, it's like part dark, part steel, even though it's a Cradle-y. Crystal Guardians, one of the best sets to ever release. Got that destroyed corner on the Blastoise, but still, beautiful series, beautiful set. EX Emerald. EX Emerald is widely considered the lowest print run set to ever come out. You can see that in the PSA Pop reports. EX Emerald is so scarce. So finding good condition EX Emerald holos is very difficult now because of how that was the lowest point in the hobby. EX Deoxys, the reverse holo pattern gets crazy. They get this like mosaic pattern going. Not a big fan of it. I prefer the Cosmo. So EX Deoxys reverses don't really do it for me. Now they just go back to normal gold text. They don't have the gold border anymore for holo rare reverses. Crawdaunt with that weird mosaic. If you like it, if it's your thing, love it. Just personally, it's not for me. Getting back here, I'm gonna speed up again. I know I've said that like 11 times already. Got some Bannettes, I have 2 of these. Cloister Dragon Frontiers. Dragon Frontiers is a very valuable set now because it contains the Gold Star Charizard. Got some Unseen Forces here. Unseen Forces had like a weird holo where it's like kind of Cosmo holo, but it doesn't pop as much. All the EX Unseen Forces are like this. They all kind of just have like it's like a darker Cosmo holo. It doesn't necessarily jump out at you as much. Some Machamp action. Now we're into Power Keepers. Power Keepers was the last EX set ever released before they switched to Diamond and Pearl. Oh, I thought we were in set order. We're not. We're back to Dragon Frontiers. Now we're back to Power Keepers again. Got some Zangoose action. Oh, this is actually Pop. Yeah, this is Pop series. This it was like a Pop is like a player promo. It's like player something promo is what Pop stands for. This is Pop series. What is that? I can't even see through the screen. Pop series 5. Pop Series 5 is the set that had the Gold Star, Umbreon, and Espeon in those Pop Series 5 packs, and they're unweighable because the Gold Stars didn't have a holo pattern, which makes those packs so valuable. So we finally got through Holos. I know we're 14 minutes in. This is gonna be a long video. Hope you guys like that. If not, I'll be able to tell with the viewership. But now I guess we can go into reverses. So reverse early series reverses. So I showed you all the later series reverses. Early reverses have this like weird sheen holo. This is like EX Ruby and Sapphire, EX Sandstorm. Those really early ones before they did the set names. They had these like sheen reverse holos. This is a Portuguese or Spanish. I think it's Spanish. Then you got a Flagon. They almost give me like legendary collections vibes with that, like, because it's kind of aggressive on the eye. Like if it hits you the wrong way, it's like kind of not a huge fan of them, but they do look pretty and they're very hard to grade. So if you get a like this is a mint Halo holo. That's on the card saver. That damage right there, that smudge. It's a very mint, like the mint ones are very hard to come by. I think this is, what is this? EX Team Aqua versus Team Magma. That's what this one's from. So those are just wanted to show you some quick reverses. Now I'll get into commons because I have a bunch of common reverses. And here's the thing that I love about EX era is they made commons a chase with these reverses. It's the same holo pattern as the rares, but now it just doesn't have like the gold text and stuff like that. But you're still getting a common card now with a holo, and it just makes the commons pop. This Swellow is one of my favorite uncommon / common cards ever printed. This reverse holo Swellow is it's just beautiful from Dragon Frontiers. I'm thankful enough to have this in a very good condition copy, so I might actually grade this, and it's probably gonna grade a 9 or so. But like, it just makes these so much more desirable. Now reverse commons are kind of a snooze, but these old ones, like, come on, what is this? This one's a rare. Okay, wait. No, it's an uncommon. Okay, I was like, yeah, this is in the wrong pile if it's a rare. Like, this is an uncommon. You'd think it was a rare just because of how it looks. Look at that Legend Maker reverse holo pattern. Got the Charmander from Fire Red Leaf Green. Lickitung. The Fire Red Leaf Green ones have little energy symbols in them, which is kind of cool. Like, you see the fire one there, the colorless, the lightning, as they glance off the light. I have a bunch of these, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm just going to rifle through them. A lot of Fire Red Leaf Green. Got some Deoxys with that weird pattern that I personally don't like. Trainers, EX Emerald, lowest print run set ever released, so if you can get a bunch of these, it's probably a pretty good pickup because they're going to get harder and harder to find. This is what I'm talking about with that Unseen Forces reverse holo. They all just kind of come off as a little dark, a little strange there, and you can see there's a very faint Pokeball going on with the Mareep there. Yeah, gonna wrap with the rest. Delta Species, one of the hardest sets to get now. You get these Dittos, these like clay Dittos that are like in the shape of Pokemon. Those ones are pretty cool. Gonna run through the rest of these. Trainers. This is another one that, like, it just looks like a regular, it just looks like it'd be a chase card, but it's an uncommon. The Tentacruel, love it. Dunsparce. More Delta Species. That Magikarp. Love the steel type Magikarp, it's so funny. Alright, yeah. And the rest of these are I think I just have trainers. Oh no, I don't. But still, yeah. You've kind of seen all these uncommons and stuff in the holo rares. Now they're just on uncommon cards. So it's a great way to make, like I said, make every set look beautiful. And they did all these interesting things with the energies. Like that, these are energies from, I think, Power Keepers. And then these are energies here from Fire Red Leaf Green. Sorry if my cards end up off screen sometimes. I kind of look over the phone that I'm recording with to see the cards sometimes, and then I kind of like, my hands drift. So if I'm ever just showing you something and it's just like blatantly off screen, apologies about that. All right, so those were the commons, that whole stack there. Now I'm gonna get into my, what do I have next? I'll show you some EXs. So these EXs are all like ungradable. That's why they're still in top card savers, but the EXs were the chase card. This one's from Sandstorm, this Wailord. This is a very special one for the history of the hobby. I've kind of explained that in its solo video. First Pokemon with 200 HP, just absolutely broke the HP barrier. Love this Aerodactyl, it looks like a sinister. This Flagon looks pretty clean. Is that gradable? I don't know. I guess we'll find out if I look closer after the video. Yeah, these These aren't in terrible condition, but some of them are maybe like PSA 8, PSA 7 caliber. But just these EXs look beautiful, and I'm kind of excited. The new series of Pokemon, like the what is it, like Violet and Scarlet or something, the Violet and whatever, they are bringing back EXs. So I kind of hope they have a similar vibe. I don't need these crazy outside of the artwork, like pseudo full art chase cards. Like, just give me a traditional, like, regular art in the card. Just give me a nice art, great holo pattern, and I'll be happy with a chase card. I don't need massive full arts and stuff like that. Salamence from, I think, Delta Species. This is a Celebi EX from Pop Series 2. Got Crawdont here. Gonna raffle through these a little bit more. This Rocket's Persian from EX Team Rocket Returns. I love the Delta Species EXs. These ones are my favorites. Again, this one would not grade well, but it just looks great. These are great binder copies. Mime. Oh, I'm throwing cards now. Yeah, I thought these were in set order. They are not, because this Blaziken is from early. I think this is from Sandstorm. No, it's bottom there. Team Magma, Team Aqua. You can tell from the symbol. More Delta Species, EXs, 2 Shiftries, Cacturn, you know, the usual. And then there's they had some promos that were like non-holo EXs. So you can see it has its traditional yellow border. This was before the Ruby and Sapphire set came out. So this was like as they were basically promoting Gen 3. So those are those EXs. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. Next up, I'm showing off I only have a few graded EXs. So I'm gonna show those real quick. I don't know why I put these two first. I was gonna talk about these later. But these two are two of my most prized cards from this series. This Lugia I have a very fond memory of, because one of my childhood friends had a Lugia, an Unseen Forces Lugia, and it was like, I wanted it bad. As soon as I saw it, just the Lugia, just the way it looked with these dark shadows looked spectacular to me. It's Elemental Blast with 200. I didn't play the game at the time, but just seeing the 200 there, it just looked crazy. So I wanted it. I ended up buying it like a few years later, and this one I graded myself a 9. It was in a binder of mine for years. Finally took it out and graded it, got a 9. So it's kind of close to me for that reason. Same with this one. This one's actually interesting because I tried to buy the yellow version. The one here, I'll pull that back out again. There's a Groudon version like this where it's just a yellow. It's like, and there's no holo to it. And just like vice versa, there's a Kyogre with a holo pattern. I bought a yellow Groudon, a non-holo Groudon on Troll and Toad for like $1, because at the time that's what they were worth. This was like 2015 probably, and they sent me this one. They sent me the holo one instead of the non-holo one. The holo one was worth maybe $10 at the time, and they just sent me an absolutely mint example. So I graded it and it got a 9. So I paid, $10 for this card in I paid $1 for this card that was worth $10 in about 2014, 2015, and it served me well. They sent me the one time Troll and Toad sends you a good condition card, because usually their near mint cards are not near mint. Then I got just a few other EXs. This one I also graded myself. That one turned out not as good. But I'm slowly trying to build up my PSA 8s like I was saying, so I only have a few so far. It's a very slow process. But this Scyther, and I wanted a good copy, a good condition copy of the Wailord, just because of how, I don't know. It's just a staple of this era. When you think of EXs, sure, you think of the Charizard EX from Fire Leaf Green, but the Wailord from Sandstorm is up there. So that's the EXs. Now we're blowing through these. We're going real quick. That's actually all my main stacks. So I'm just gonna let you know now, I'm not showing off any gold stars because I don't own any gold stars. They're a little bit out of my price range, but I will talk about them a little bit when I get to some of these cards later. This card I want to show off is a pre-release Armaldo from Sandstorm. This is one of the, you can see the pre-release and it hits the light the right way. The pre-release kind of illuminates, but this is one of the hardest to find pre-release cards out there. There's very few. There's about 50 graded by PSA, but most of those are TCA Gaming. I remember back in like 2015, 2016, TCA released a video about EX era promos, and he was just flipping through cards, and he casually mentioned, and TCA Gaming, he's like a guru of this hobby, and he casually mentioned in that video that in his however many years in the hobby, he's only seen like a handful of pre-release Armaldos. So when he said that in that video, I instantly went on eBay, bought one for... Hey, sorry, my camera stopped recording. So I was talking about TCA Gaming. So when he said this was one of the lowest pre-release print runs out of all the pre-release that have come out, and he said he's only seen a few of them and he's been scooping them up. When he said that, I instantly went on eBay, bought one, and I ended up grading it a while later, got an 8, which I'm okay with, you know, it's whatever. I didn't really need a 10, but I just wanted one of these cards because TCA he graded almost all the pre-release Armaldos in the PSA Prop Report because he was the one that was scooping them up when they were super rare. People didn't know they were very rare, so they would just throw one up on eBay for $5 and he would be like, yeah, I'll scoop that up instantly. So I was lucky enough to find one when I looked, because he was saying he was a hawk for those back in 2015, 2016, because they didn't know that it was that rare. They would just price them out what the price of other pre-release cards was, but this one was just so much rarer. I don't know why, but I'm just taking what he said because he knows more than I do. So I got that one thanks to him, and I'm glad I did because those are pretty hard to find now. And if you do find one, you're probably buying it from TCA Gaming. I'm willing to bet that if you go on eBay right now and you look up pre-release Sandstorm Armaldos, most of them, if there are numerous, most of them are probably by TCA right now. At least they were last time I checked. So now I want to talk about, this is kind of just a miscellaneous. This is like just one of the Holos, but it's in a CGC slab, so it was a different stack. But so that's that. I want to show you my 2 absolute favorite EX era cards. And the first one is this Holland Phantoms Reverse Holo Rayquaza that I graded myself and was lucky enough to pull a 9. This one, it just checks all the boxes for me. It's got beautiful art of like Rayquaza circling the sky. I think he's over, what is that tower called in Emerald? Like you like go that, it's like Spear Pillar or something. I think he's circling Spear Pillar, it looks like. And just love the art. The Holland Phantoms, like gold border with the gold text on the Delta species. It's a conglomeration of everything I like about EX era in one beautiful card, because I love the EX era art, and this is phenomenal art. I love the EX era reverse holo stamps, so you know what set it's from. This has got that. I love the gold text, it's got the gold text. I love the gold borders, it has the gold borders. I love the Delta species in general, and it just has it all. So this when I saw this art as a kid, it kind of really just jumped out at me for some reason. I don't really know why. It's not ultra spectacular. It's simple, but it's very well done. And so I was lucky enough that one of my favorite cards happened to also be mint, because usually that does not happen. My favorite cards end up being the ones that I destroy the most. It really only got a 9 because it's a little off center. You can see this right side is a little bit thicker than the left. But just want to show that card. And I want to stop on this card for a bit, because I think this card is like the most beautiful card I have. And this is a little bit of a hot take here, and I think I might make its own video for it. So you might double dip if you see this and then watch a future video about it. But I consider the Pop Series 5 Holo Mew a poor man's gold star. And why do I say that? So as someone who doesn't deal with gold stars because they're a bit out of my price range, gold stars are beautiful, but people kind of just buy them because of their rarity. They're beautiful cards. It's beautiful because they're shining versions, like the black Charizard, the black Rayquaza, stuff like that. But a lot of the chase is just because they're rare. And sorry about that. And this Mew Holo, I see it as the poor man's gold star Mew, because the gold star Mew is I think it's a water type, I believe. It's instead of a fire type, but it's obviously the blue version. But just like the Delta species Holo Mew it jumps out at me, and it does all the same things for me that Gold Star Mew would have done. So it was an easy pickup for me because it's a fraction of the price. And there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with the Pop Series 5 Mew. First being, it's I don't know, it's just a Delta species Mew, looks great. But second, the Holo on all these Mews, they kind of like, I don't know if it was an error, well it must have been, but like basically every single Pop Series 5 Holo Mew, the Holo foil goes over the Pokemon, which is the only card that really happens in, because most of them it's in the background and the Pokemon is like stamped on top of the Holo. But for this one, the Holo goes through the Mew. It's kind of hard to capture on camera, it's much more visible in person, but it just looks a little bit better to me. It kind of gives off like Koro Mew vibes, and I really like it. I like how he's kind of like surrounded in the fire there. He's kind of just fully illuminated by it. With the Holo, looks great. I have a nice swirl going on next to his right eyeball, or I guess left to you, but right to him. But also there's an error, I guess you could say, with this card. It's not a rare error, but it's a unique error. With the Pop Series 5, a lot of the cards had an inverted back. So you see it says inverted back right here. It's exactly what it sounds like. Is the back is upside down. You notice the Pokeball is upside down. The back on this card is upside down. And that would be a big deal in the hobby, but it's very common. There's actually more upside down versions than there are corrected versions. So corrected versions actually get a premium, even though if you weren't very into the hobby, it would look normal. You wouldn't know that. You'd say, oh, that's just a Pop Series 5 Mew. But the more common version, it's not much more common, but the more common version is actually the one that stands out, that someone looks at it and can go, oh, that's interesting. So it's not just Mew. I think it's like the Wailmer with the Pikachu writing on it. I think that one's in Pop Series 5. That one has it too a little bit. A bunch of them have it. I don't know if all of Pop Series 5 has it, but definitely the Mew and the Wailmer / Pikachu, I forget which one it is, but they're both on the card. I know it's not a thing with the Gold Stars. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but in Pop Series 5, for the only time they did this, you could pull a Gold Star in a Pop Series 5 pack, which was the Umbreon or the Espeon. And how Pop Series worked was, in the packs were all non-holo cards. So for every holo in Pop Series, there's a non-holo version. So in the pack, it was like, I think it was 3 non-holo cards. You weren't guaranteed a rare, just 3 non-holo cards, could have been 3 commons, whatever it is. And these holos were in like blister packs as like a promo. But so because every other card in the set was non-holo in the pack, those little 3-card packs, they couldn't make the Espeon and the Umbreon holo, because then it would be very weighable, and they didn't want that to happen at the tournaments where you are giving out the Pop Series packs. So they decided to keep their theme of Pop Series packs being non-holo and make those 2 Gold Stars non-holo, which is why those are the only 2 that don't have a holo pattern in the English versions. And that made the demand for Pop Series 5 packs crazy. I remember I was watching YouTube Pokemon stuff way back, before a lot of the big YouTubers came in, before all the investing channels like SM Pratt and Pokenomics and all of that, like Pokeknowledge and Dan, all of them. Before they were all making videos, it was guys like Primetime Pokemon, Jay Witz, all of them. And Primetime Pokemon actually mentioned this with Pop Series 5 packs. He said, hey, there's a 1 in, I think it was like 1 in 50? 1 in 50 chance of getting a Gold Star. At the time, Gold Stars weren't that special. Like, this is like 2014 era, but they were still, you know, it was something. It's not like they are today, where they're like on a pedestal. But I remember he said, he was like, hey, these are a great pickup. At the time, Pop Series 5 packs, I think, were about $20 or $25. Yeah, I think it was around $20. And so you can get, what, 50 of them? What is that? Is it $1,000? Yeah. Well, I guess that's a lot of money. But like you can get 10 of them for $200 and have a decent chance at pulling a Gold Star. And now those Gold Stars are worth thousands and thousands. And the Pop Series packs themselves, I don't even know, probably over $500 a piece. But yeah, the whole hobby was different back then, back when I was collecting a lot of these. I picked this one up actually really recently. I just wanted a nice condition card, and they're so hard to find. These Pop Series cards are so damaged because they're handed to kids. But so that's my overview of EX as a whole. I showed off traditional holos, reverse holos, the EXs, and just a few miscellaneous things like the pre-release and the Pop Series. Sorry, I've been talking for a lot. I'm gonna grab some water. So one thing I want to end on is what stands out the most to me in EX era, and it's honestly the least glorious answer. It's not the gold stars. The gold stars they've been in the news for so long, they almost feel like old news. Like everyone knows about gold stars. There's no like hidden gem in the gold stars. They're so optimized. Everyone, even people that don't care about EX, care about gold stars. So gold stars never really did it for me. It just seemed very it seemed just like a chase. It wasn't for the art themselves. The art is beautiful, but more the chase was just like, we just want rare cards, and gold stars before alt arts were like the rarest set cards. But I think honestly the best cards in this EX era, the ones I enjoy collecting the most, are these ones. The least expensive pile here besides the commons. My favorite cards are just the holos, because they're just, I don't know, they've looked beautiful and they're so cheap. They've gotten a lot more expensive. Like I said, you used to be able to get holos for $1 a piece near mint on Troll and Toad and stuff, and now those days are long gone. But still, like EX, so gold stars shot up first, and then once gold stars got out of the price range of most people, they would look to the next best thing, which was the EXs. And now the EXs have shot up a lot, and so those have multiplied tremendously. And then now we're kind of at holos, where holos are the next frontier, basically, of inexpensive but amazing cards. So I'm picking up a lot of them. When I say a lot, I only have like 10 so far. I'm picking them up slowly, but with persistence. And just because, I don't know, they're just kind of better than they are today, in my opinion. These ones just did it differently, and they did it better than like modern holos. Because now, modern, you have your alt arts, whichever one wants. You have like your VMAXs, whichever one wants. But as you go down those rarity tiers, people care less and less, and holos are worth like bulk now. Like holos are literally in bulk when people buy it. It's crazy. You can get holos for like 10 cents, 20 cents for modern, and because they're just not as, they don't pop as much, they're not as good. But these old EX era holos, they're just, I don't know, they did it right. And Diamond and Pearl's the same. I have one Diamond and Pearl holo here to show you. It's Japanese, but Diamond and Pearl holos are the same way, where they have this beautiful pattern on them. Same beautiful holo foil. Is this a good example? No, it's a terrible example. That's also a bad example. This one. They have the same kind of like Cosmo holo going. So Diamond and Pearl is the same way, but Diamond and Pearl is a whole different beast. I'm not going to touch too much on Diamond and Pearl because that's not the scope of this video, but Diamond and Pearl is much harder to complete in my mind than EX era because condition is atrocious. With EX era, I don't have the exact answer why, but you can still find reasonably good condition cards. Like, it's a little difficult. You can't find them very good raw, like, very easily, but you can find PSA 8s of holos pretty consistently. But with Diamond and Pearl, if you look for just like ungraded Diamond and Pearl cards, it looks like they all went through a shredder. It's crazy how, then this is Japanese, so it doesn't apply, but like English Diamond and Pearl, holos, level X's, when you get the Heart Gold Soul Silver, you got primes, all of them are just atrocious condition. So I think once EX becomes like the next big thing, because I think it will soon as collectors get older and EX collectors become, they start to get more income, Diamond and Pearl is going to be the next focus of a lot of people, and people are going to realize that I feel like a lot of this Diamond and Pearl nicer condition stuff is going to dry up real fast. The PSA 9s, PSA 10s, it's going to be pretty hard to increase that pop once it takes off. People are going to send in their first wave, and I feel like there's not going to be a lot after that because they're just so condition sensitive. I've been collecting EX and Diamond and Pearl. I have a whole bunch of other stacks of Diamond and Pearl that I just didn't show in this video because it didn't pertain, but they're all in terrible condition. And I was buying near mint copies from Troll Toad, but I don't know, just they're all pretty bad. So yeah, if I could only buy one thing in this whole video, I would sell all my EXs, all my common reverses, all my everything else, and just buy EX era holos, because they're spectacular, they're cheaper I should say. They're still pretty expensive. Like $30 for an 8 is still a pretty substantial amount, and there's over 100 holos in all of the EX sets combined, so you got your work cut out for you. But they stand apart from the rest in my mind, and I think that they're the best chase in EX era, even though they're the easiest. So let me know your thoughts on all that. This has been a long video, so I apologize if you got through it. You're a trooper. If you have any video ideas, just shoot me a text or shoot me a message on YouTube. Leave it in a comment, and I'll try and work it in. This was a suggestion by a viewer. He just wanted to see me go over EX, so I kind of just did a little crash course here. But yeah, let me know what you think. Any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you.